Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Morovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, my brother, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Bonjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat keep congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You want to get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba. What I want? Yes, TV. Yes,
Friday the South event. On the beat.
To get your information. To the spoon to be my spoon television. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Morovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, my brother, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Bonjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat keep congratulate my brother.
Yes, I tell you, in Grand Cape Mountain, in Maryland, in Sino County, in Bone County, across the 15 counties of Liberia, just tune to spoon. Or maybe you somewhere across the African continent, world over. I'd like to, in a special way, welcome all of you tonight to Liberia's premier talk show on radio and online. This is where you get authentic information about the happenings across Liberia, the views of Liberians, analysis on the issues, bring you face to face with the policymakers. You get to engage, share your thoughts on the trendy national issues every single day. It's great to be here tonight on this 10th day of June. My name is Nelson Colette. We're live across the Spoon Network, Spoon FM 107.5. We're live on Fabric Radio 101.1 and on several other frequencies across the country. Thanks to all of our partner radio stations that are making this possible. Thanks to Trust FM in Bombay County, Premier FM in Bombay, Train Radio in Grand Crew, Radio Yalaman in Seclipie, Nimba County, Gibi FM in Kakata, Gibi County, and a host of other radio stations across the country for always relaying the program. This is where you get the news. This is where you get the information. This is where you get to hear Liberians speak on the different issues of concerns. And again, I'd like to welcome you to this edition of the program. Thanks to all of our folks online for joining as well. Thousands of you make up time every single day to join us here. I'd like to welcome all of you joining us. We're streaming live across the internet tonight. We're live on Facebook, Spoon TV, Fabric TV, and Super TV. We're on YouTube as well, and our YouTube handle is Spoon Talk Live. That's where you can find us on YouTube. So again, thanks to all of you for coming on. I see Alfred Zamawola, Matilda Kurma, thank you for joining in tonight. Samuel Sambula, Eddie George, Lucini Conan, and the many of you joining us from across Facebook and YouTube tonight. Thanks for coming on. As we always do, we dedicate the first segment of the program to you. We want to hear you. We want to hear you talk. We want to know what your issues are. What is it you want to talk about? Is it about health? Is it about education? Is it about the environment? Just whatever that issue is that is of concern to you, you're going to have the time tonight to share your thoughts on those different issues. As this edition of Spoon Talk is loaded, you don't want to miss this edition of the program for anything. And so thanks to all of you for joining us tonight. Let's go to the phone lines, take some calls, and once the CEO and the rest of the team join us, then of course we will be handing controls over to them. So we go to the phone lines, beginning with this person. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, good. Nothing cool. Your man, Adama.
Adama, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight.
Yeah, nothing. The question that on my mind, nothing. On the cooker, I lay a business and I home and fast for you to become senator. And not only me, because I always say, go to my that means that I want know that God made to be senator, but we all who help because I'm not there to run campaign for you in Lima to run decision. But I do it because I just let you and you go to talk on Okoka and I call you from FM. I say on Okoka, I say I will hold day and you go senator and God agree with the other people prayer. So on Okoka, when you listen to me, like Adama Kane, I really want to see you, just to see you. The second thing, the press secretary call for now. I tell that woman, thank you. Because yeah, I mean, and that woman know how to get the news. Anything that happens about the great president.
Thank you, Adama.
God will get President Joseph Baka long life. God will get you. I mean, nothing for that. God will get you long life also. And
thank
God
you very much
you
for your input.
Protect President Joseph Baka and protect Kura Fofana and even Colina Kura and that's you. Well, God will protect all of them. Well, I don't want to talk to Coca. To you, I want to see Coca. I want to talk to Coca.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We'll take more of your calls, but I see a lot of you asking as to whether the guests, the anticipated guests for tonight will be coming on. I see a lot of you have already started asking in the comment section. Yes, I can confirm that the guest will not just be coming, but she's already seated in studio. So you can rest assured it's going to be a very, very informative, very engaging edition of Spoon Talk tonight. And you're going to get it all right here tonight. So just keep sharing the program, get glued to your radio, and let's keep taking your calls. 0555-101075 is the number to call, and you'll be live. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, nice thing. Good evening.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead.
I want to say hello to the spoon calling this evening.
Yeah, go ahead. You're live.
What I have to say is that the people need to say sorry to sis or man Veronique. Do. Are we there?
You're live, sir.
Uh, in past time, this lady mother came and flagged the issue, and even before then, president leadership and president leaderships, she began for them. All people said the same thing, even the late John Gray family. So the 50 bags, the 5,000 plus all the money that was carried there, if it had been done during the time the woman was living and her sister, then with some money and cash, that we are not going this far. And another thing I want to stress on this point, Akara Grace said last night that if you get a son and you get a family, the family should be able to push you up. They voted for CDC over the CDC funded and election started. I monitor all of the results. Even you can go to net results now. So for you know, can you say, oh, the people they didn't vote for them or for CDC, it is very wrong.
Thank you.
And the late president took care of we are as their own children, Salisa Tiba, George, we are other guys. He highly promoted them, and personal thing for them. So the people should not say some back to them. They on the other from the side, the family who can say, oh yeah, I beg you're bringing it here. It's not an issue. The issue there is that you go and say sorry to the family.
Thank you.
Like what Kano Barbara said in this afternoon news I listened to.
Let's hold you there. Thank you very much for your
nothing
input,
called
sir.
big show in that thing or big hat in that thing. You're wrong, the people. So I take time to say sorry and never mind to man Veronique Mamito and his entire Grandian family. The people wrong here that how they can behave.
Let's hold you there. Thank you. We have to take orders.
So sorry.
Thanks a lot. The guest is already in studio. She's going to be coming on, and so it will be a very interesting conversation tonight. But let's take this person. Hello, you are live. Your name and where you come from? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, anyway, let me just comment for this show tonight, and therefore bless you and keep listen. I'm doing speak recording from Triple Road. I get two major burning things on my mind tonight. Let me just make it quick. Number one, last night on the show, the way and Joe were behaving towards when Joe, some words and he was using now. The platform down there, I think the CEO need to take notice for some thing to advise them behind the scenes.
Thank
but
you.
It's not very good.
Thank you. Thank you for your input tonight. This person, hello. Hello, can you hear me? All right, so we'll have to hold that person there and take another person here. Hello? Yeah, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Thank you. My name is Daniel Kerry. I call you from Oro Phoebe Road.
Daniel, what's on your mind?
The thing that on my mind, I want to speak to our sister, Mami Do. And the scripture that I come in here to Mami Do, when she listening to the scripture, they all lay by the scripture. The Bible says now, 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. The Bible says, don't allow for somebody to load down you because you are very smart or because you are smart in your family or
but
to the former president.
You're not reading the scripture, you just start interpreting it.
Yeah, I said, Timothy, 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12.
What thing you say?
The Bible said that don't allow for somebody to load down you because you are small. So, president, the former president, even in your family, don't allow for somebody to say, she's too small in the family for her to control her. In fact, that former president, let me bow down to him. All I want, don't allow for nobody to load down you because you are very small. Don't allow it. If your man, if they want to use your man body for them to be carry cow and back of rest with money, the time your mother was living, they supposed to use that money for your mother to hard life. But be
too bad we are losing you. So we have to take another person here. Hello.
Hello.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Well, Nelson, thank you for the show. This is Albert Kemuga. I'm in Carwell.
Kemuga, go ahead.
You know, I listened to Akara Moses Gray. You know, the brother is so political in the sense that he always takes side. Yesterday, when Jason Jerry was hitting CDC, he said the man believe in yellow journalism. But when Jason Jerry be hitting on Joseph Yuma Boka, President Baka, he can be clapping his hand and say, yeah, Jason Jerry on his side. You know, that the brother will not win no election again. He got a lot of work to do because the brother is so political in the sense that his enemy, when they say whoever he can be a friend in the spirit of 1 second. So he got a lot of work to do. So when he realized, you know, I was just laughing yesterday. When he realized that Jason Jerry between yellow journalism, the brother is so deceptive. That's why he wanted to be foreign minister to President Weah. If President Weah could win 2023 election because he got married in France.
Thank you.
So he wants to be parading all in that place. That's why he don't want no election.
Thank you very much for your input. Let's hold you there and take another person. 0555-101075. Hello, your name and where you call from?
How you doing?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You're live. This is Nelson. Go ahead.
Oh, Nelson. How you doing, dear brother?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Nelson, I want to say to my man, Mr. Akara Grady. Akara Grady has come to the realization that Liberian young people are not good tie on chain or on rope. Like when you're having party, you just grab one and push your ear and then you enjoy yourself. Our young people mind are changing. Whatever Akara Grady was an ordinary man with nowhere to go. When the young people saw that he was there for them, and then they decided to elect him as a lawmaker to represent them. Unfortunately, the only time he had to at least associate with them was the day of holy matrimony. What our brother Akara Grady did, they made one chance. He invited Karen Mbappe, he invited Terry Herring, he invited great football players who didn't even vote at him. They had a good time. He returned back with the idea that those Liberian or young people of 2005 who never had BSc, who never had even had a diploma, are the senior young people. No, Akara Grady. You can no longer snap your finger. You even correct 500 president. You get where you get more.
Thank you.
Our young people are focused on what they are doing to move their life forward. To even have a slighted thought that I will 10,000 edition behind me. Nobody going to follow behind you because you left that district without a single vocational school.
Thank you.
To even learn how to cut hair, you don't impact anybody's life. Today in that district.
You said that, man. Thank you.
Nothing you did there.
All right, so
you said the man. Thank you. You said me
the man autopilot. So
the man are autopilot. So gaming autopilot. That's all. You said thank you. Keep the man. You back again. You tell the man thank you. He listen. Call him up. We'll talk to him tomorrow. Nelson, how you doing?
Yes, sir. I'm doing good.
Nelson, I came on 4:20 p.m. Eastern Time, the USA, where you find New York, and at the DMV area, that where I'm from. It's 8:20 to your time in Liberia, especially the Moserado. A lot of people calling because I can see and I can announce that it's going to be a very, very interesting show today. We have Sister Veronica Mamido in studio. You know, nothing. We ain't gonna hold anything, but that's what you know me now. I'm not gonna hold anything back. I gotta say, you know. So everybody, we just want to say to you, we welcome you. Now I'm gonna do this for 1 hour, right? With Madame Doe, 1 hour. That's it. And then guess what happened? We're gonna get into the politics and the post-analysis. You're gonna have Councillor Lafia Good. You're gonna have Akaris Mose Gray, the fighter. They call him the general. Which war have he won that people call him general? Akaris. What makes him a general? Nelson. What makes Akaris a general? By the way, I'm gonna leave that alone.
Oh, you
say something? What makes Akaris a general?
Man is a general within the TDC. You know, there's a
which war, which battle have he fought?
Oh, he won elections. He won.
So if you win election, you're a general now.
Yeah.
So for the family that get rotten school in your district, they meant to all they put money for the family, and you can build one school for the people. So you're calling general because you won election.
Look at that video circulating around for the family, all the old school, broken chairs, window, mud houses. And for the family will come on the show and boast about the kind of job he's doing. He got to go back to his district, man. The China Union district, man. Come on. I mean, I'm going to attack for it. But nothing. Do you know that Reverend Martin, the Unity, Reverend, what's his name? Tapet. Reverend Tapet. The Unity Party chairman. The message you know is there's corruption in the government. He said he doesn't know that.
Yeah.
He got choked. Nothing to make a choke. The jury asked the man, is there corruption in the government? And I said, excuse me, what you say? No, my friend. Wake up. Is there corruption in your government? And you know what? President Bwagana built a big office with all the long conference room and table people. The president said, going back to the mansion, he would do all his business from his house. The president tired that Joanna used to do a business from Jamaica. President Bwagana said, I'll do my business from rehab. Everybody go live rehab. Rehab, that's the place to go. There, everybody go do a labro fini, c'est fini. But I want to say to you, Nelson, when I say my own, don't say your own. You in labro, I'm not in labro. Okay? Let's bring in Bannersville Mayor. Bannersville Mayor? I mean, what's your name? You call yourself Bannersville Mayor. Let's bring in Philip Ballard from Pennsylvania. Be Young. Be Young is here. How Angeline Aminata Gafwan is here. That got your foreign minister's sister. I let her mess with her. Abiese Quiddy is in the house. Sarah McKinney. Our brother Tipa Speaker Dempster is here. Yvonne Eo is here as well. Justina Kana is in the house. Patient Tingbe is here. Again, my man, if you call your name Bannersville Mayor, then I'm talking to you. Barbara White, listen. We have Veronica Mamindo coming on in a few seconds, maybe in 8 minutes she'll be on. Voices of Lawalazo. Voices of Lawalazo. It's going to be bad today, my people. It's going to be crazy. That's it. Fanatico Fast said Gregor Coleman should never call him. But let's play that video. Fanatico said, y'all tell Gregor Coleman not to never ever call my name. Hey.
So see you.
Yeah.
Interestingly, before going out to that coverage, I saw that read up circulating where somebody wrote that the IG called the speaker to apologize. So when I bumped into the speaker, I asked him, did the IG call you? Is it call me for what? When? Then he never called me.
Wait. So I will open it. I'm going to call Gregory. Please don't call Fonati. Because you guys in this, court issue, don't call. Listen, if anybody know IG Gregor, come on, please say not to call Fonati. Because I'm not saying it. But Nelson, put a video up. Put a video up, Nelson, what you doing this for?
I'm almost there.
We're gonna bring in Edwin Waplo, Mustafa Gape, Rebecca Grisby. That's Sylvester Grisby daughter. Anybody named Grisby will put in with Sylvester Grisby. By the way, let me announce that Sylvester Grisby is trying. His sugar gone down. You know, he's in Texas. His sugar gone down. He's doing extremely well. He's probably going to be back home shortly to attend some of those meetings that they are having in the president house. You know, the president have his home office. You know, he can go to the executive mansion. You know, and then he will have other meeting in his house. Benjamin Johnson, it's good to have you. Abraham is always good to have you. George is good to have you. Michael Topa is good to have you. Sylvester Bessie, Emmy, my daddy sister, rather. Hey, Emmy, how you doing, Emmy? It's been a long time. Let's talk about Charles Appleton Jr. Charlie, as always, Moses Nelson is here. Edo Freeman. Everybody just joining because they can't wait to hear Veronica Mamindo speaking. They just coming on like water. They just wasting. Kennedy Moses is here as well. Joseph Doloya is here. No, that. Guys, what do you think Mamindo coming to say? Should I keep her for the rest of the show or we should do only 1 hour? I mean, it's up to you. All depends what we do. Oh, Fatu Richardson. Abraham Richardson's sister Fatu, she can't leave our show alone. Fatu Richardson, you'll be paying every second you come on the show now. Let's bring in Peter Toba, I call your name. Before Maru is here, Helena Nyimpan. Helena Nyimpan looks like she's from the southeastern part of the country. Tony and Magabush is here. Alvin Dennis. But when I Nelson, I'm waiting for the video. We'll soon bring you home. I want that video that Faradi said they shouldn't call him. I want to play that video. Hey, Nelson, you holding me back, man. And guys, you know, all day Nelson been sleeping. Oh no. He was at a temple adjusted today. You saw him. He on camera, and I won't buy you saw him today. I can't do that to him. We want to say, you got it?
Yeah, so I'm sharing the screen now.
Yeah, please do. Let me listen to that part of it. I want to just play that, and you got to come back after Sister Mami Do. We got to talk about the politics. Something seemed not to be ready. Said Jacob Jada. Jacob Jada said he went in there, and the chief investigator, they call him Peter Johnson. We'll show you a picture. Peter Johnson said, because you hear something, so therefore we are investigating you. Is that true? Well, no. Give us the video, Nelson. Let's listen to the former speaker, J. Fonati Kofa.
You try to develop anything to that mindset. So you go in with a preliminary mindset, I got to be Kofa. So anything Kofa say will be.
Did the police IG call you, sir? There are information that he called you.
Call me for what?
To apologize. To apologize.
When?
Today.
No, I don't see no call for no police IG. Tell him not to call me.
All right. Why should he call you? Well, let's see if we can talk. Yeah, so
Nelson, you can hear me, right? So keep that. He said, tell the police RG not to call me. This is very serious. Guys, are you listen, guys? Are you seeing what I'm seeing here? Fonati tend to be a real crew man. He ain't hiring no more. I'm playing with the man. I'm a chimney. Man, we're gonna have a wonderful show today. Woo! Woo! We got 3 more minutes to bring Mami Do on. 3 minutes. She's in studio. She's seated. I see her looking through the mirror. I think she gets more mirror. She looking at her in the mirror. I can see her in the back. She all ready to rock and roll. It's a very serious thing, you know. I'm gonna put a little laughter in this because you know why? She coming with a heavy heart. You know. So therefore, we gotta just inspire her with our laughter. But on the other side, after Madame Veronica Mamido, we'll be discussing what happened at the preliminary trial today, the preliminary hearing at the Temple of Justice. And then we'll go and discuss other issues that is happening in the country. What happened with our labor minister, Cooper Cry? What's the takeaway from the big meeting that was held today at the President's house? You know, the president built a whole office. You know, so when he tired, he can't go to the executive mansion. He tell the mansion to come to him. We got to discuss that. We want to welcome each and every one of you. As we clock in on minute 30-second left, Gamet Barkley, vocal, it's good to see you. Richard Moore, it's good to see you. Shadrach Sherman, it's good to see you. Oscar Donon, as always. Philip Bada, I call your name. Brahma Tiro, the name is not Batman. Pierre Campbell is here, she just arrived. Mariaman Akir, Tano Jala, Amelia Basse, Edward Freeman, Marvin Bajolo, Samuel Kofi Woods Jr., Otero Swai, Abby Brahman, Sita Hammond, Ahmed. Okay, I got to try to slow this thing down. Okay, let me see. Jeff Zoe, Kevin Hoot, Tony L.S. Mugabush. The name is Abba Bala, Eddie Sandeako Salai Sape. Call your name, Sister Fatu Richardson. Sophia is here as well. Melvin September Emerson. Oscar Donald, I call your name. Let's see who's there next. Edmond Sibu, T. Emmanuel Bang, Ibrahim Amara Donald. Guys, it's 4:30 Eastern Time in the great United States, where we have problem in California based on immigration's issue. After you watch the network, go on CNN or MSNBC or Fox News and see what's happening in California. Major protests, the President Donald J. Trump have to put a National Guard and the U.S. Marine on the street. to maintain law and order. Again, so to all of you living in California, all of our fellow followers, we wish you guys well, and we pray that you stay home and observe your terrain. But once you're in the United States of America, you should be safe and you should carry yourself accordingly. So we have to update you. There's an issue happening in California, Los Angeles part of California, where you have some immigration protest issue going on. And Donald J. Trump, the president of the United States, have ordered a National Guard and some 700 Marines, I believe, to be deployed to protect the peace. So if you are in that area and you're watching us, we wish you well, and we hope you remain safe. On this note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to bring on the show our guest for tonight on the 101, Madam Veronica Mamido. All right. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How you doing today, Madam Veronica Mamido? It's good to see you in studio for the very, very first time. And again, welcome to Spoon Talk. Nelson?
Yep, I think you're okay now.
Can you hear me?
She's very low, Nelson.
Okay, I think it's better now.
Okay.
Good evening. How you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very, very much. Again, because I'm seeing you for the first time, and I'd like to say on behalf of the entire network, all of our panelists, the CEO, the manager, everybody, please accept our sympathy to you and your family for the loss of your mother.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. If anything we can do, we'll be happy to put out those announcements and anything. And I'm so happy. I believe you met Madam Titi, and we'll be so glad to be there and stand with you in these tough times. Welcome again to Spoon Talk. Welcome to the 101. And I hope we'll have the 1 hour conversation and we'll be able to say a lot for people to understand who you are, where you're from, and where you are going thereafter. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Stanton. Thank you for having me.
So let's give you a chance to introduce yourself, and then we can get into the conversation.
Okay, so my name is Veronica Mamido. My mom recently passed, the former First Lady, Nancy Doe, and my father was the former president of Liberia, Samuel Kanyego. So, of course, by 1980, you know, I hadn't even entered kindergarten, so I was a little kid. And so I went to school in J.J. Roberts up until there was some...
Mommy, help, Mommy, 1 minute, please. I beg you, please allow me. How do you want me to call you, Mommy or Veronica? Because
I don't
thank
mind.
you. Nelson, can you make the adjustment? Can you adjust your microphone, Nelson, please? She break it in. We are not hearing her well. We have to have a good interview today, Nelson, please. Try it.
Is it better?
Better. There you go. So just try it closer. Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead, man.
Okay. Yeah. So I grew up. I was born in Liberia. I was here up until the 6th grade, when there was a lot of Tutma High School riots, and so they used to sort of threaten to come to the school because at J.J. Roberts we're right next door. So when all of that hoopla started, that's why we moved to England to attend school, because we used to carry soldiers, but then the school complained that we weren't allowed to have soldiers because it was intimidating to parents and other people. So that's how we moved. So it was due to that Tutma High School riot. So thank you guys, because then I got to go to England. And so that's where I currently live.
So you attended Tutma High?
No. J.J. Roberts United Methodist School.
Okay. And how old are you then? As much younger as...
Well, just say I left in the 6th grade.
You left, you were in 6th grade?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so since then you...
all the rioting, well, not rioting, when the Tutma High School people, so we were next door and we used to sort of threaten to come together. So
if you say we, you and who? You and your siblings? You guys were how many?
Five of us. We all attended J.J. Roberts United Methodist School. It was a good school.
So it was you. Can you name the rest of your siblings?
Josephine, Jay, Samuel, Carney, Silu Disho. Kathy wasn't born then. And
Okay.
Roland. Yeah, we all attended. All of us.
So then all 5 of you guys went straight to England.
So it's just the older kids.
Okay.
So the kids was me, Josephine, Jay, Samuel, and Carney. We went. And then the other kids remained and then never left until the war.
Okay. So since then, you've been in London for now.
Yes. So we were in London. We're in there, London. And then, of course, the war came. So we used to come home often, like the summers in Liberia. And then we moved. And then I guess then the other kids moved there permanently because, of course, everyone had to leave in 1990. And then we were there. We were there for about a year after the war, after my father was killed. And then we moved to France because our not soldiers, but our security people that we took with us, after my father passed away, they threatened harm on us as well. So it's like we were fleeing from them, from our own house. So we went to, So that's why we moved to France. So when we moved to France, the language, the barrier, and then all 10 of us again, we said, no, Mom, we want to go to the US. And then we moved to Maryland, Silver Spring. That's where we lived for a while.
So you live in America now, or you live in?
No. I left America, I want to say 2003 to do my master's in ethnic and migration studies to Amsterdam.
Okay.
So I was there, and then it was easy to go back to England because I was used to England, with the Dutch language. So then I left England and stayed there. I left Holland and stayed in England, and that's where I live currently.
Okay. So, I mean, great way to start a conversation, and let's just get into the passing of your mother. Okay. What happened? Was she sick? Because all of a sudden we woke up one morning and we just heard that the former first lady passed away. You want to, if you can,
yes,
tell us what happened?
So my mom has been sick on and off, but she's always recovered. So although she did have an illness, which was quite tough for her, but she had multiple things going on, a lot of things going on in her body from since 1980, to be fair. But we just thought that she had the faith to recover, because if you were to speak to my mom, she would say, oh, during this year when I almost died, and then God did this for me, and then I came back. So that's how she sort of segmented her life, But yeah, she was ill, and she came to be with me for the last 2 years. And then, so, everything was private here because she's not British. So everything was completely private. So we got the doctor to sort of look in and liaise with the doctors in Liberia. And also she was tired of the cold. We thought maybe it was making it worse, that maybe if she's in a warmer climate, with vitamin D, she would feel better. So I brought her back home 2 months before she passed.
So she passed away where? In Liberia?
Liberia, yeah.
Okay. All right. Again, I have our sympathy. And folks are asking, what did you do in school? We'll come back to your mom, but they're asking what did you do in school, educational wise?
Yeah, so in Maryland, I did healthcare administration. I did IT. So that was my major. I just really wanted to build hospitals and manage healthcare. So I just really needed to know that. So that's the reason I studied. And then I went to Holland and I did my master's in ethnic and migration studies. Like I said, 2003. And then later I did my master's in law at Liverpool University, John Moores. So I did that.
So are you a lawyer?
Well, I'm not a practicing lawyer. And the reason I got into law because I needed to know more about contracts is because of all the cases, because I was coming back and forth and seeing all my mom's cases. and it was just dire. So I just thought, what can I do? I need to know the laws, because prior to the current lawyers that we have now, honestly, the lawyers we had prior, it was just horrendous. You know, the things that they would say, the things that they would do, I couldn't understand why it was all the blockages in our cases. So I just really wanted to understand the law. So of course, when I wanted to help my mom, so I just went and did my master's in law, and I really did get an understanding for contract law and policies. And yeah, so that's the reason, but it wasn't really practice per se, but maybe in Liberia. But I think when I came to Liberia during that point, and I inquired about getting my bar, they told me that I had to go back all the way to law school again. And that and they even mentioned it wouldn't be good for them if I was a lawyer in Liberia. So I just sort of put that to rest. But yeah, so that's
I mean, what you learned couldn't be transferred.
I'm sure it can. I'm sure it can.
Okay.
It's part of the process, but it was just
so let's get so then here we are.
Yeah.
The issue, your mother got sick, and she passed which hospital? She passed at home or in
home. So the way I found out, I had spoken to her the day before, and you know, she didn't really want anyone to know she was in Liberia, and she was like, okay, now you need to tell some people. This is what she said to me. You need to tell some people I'm here. So I told some people who she told me to tell that she was there, and but that day that she passed on the 21st, I was just in my office, and I got a call from my nephew, and he said, please, can you confirm grandma's date of birth? And I said, why? This is about this is maybe about 12:15. And he said, what's grandma's date of birth? And I heard some people crying in the background. So I said, but don't you know grandma's date of birth? And he said, oh, I'm confused. Can you tell me? And he said, oh, and I said, why do you need it? And he says, for her death certificate. And that my heart just dropped because I had just spoken to her the day before.
So wait. So you didn't know she died, but they asked you for the date of birth or death certificate. So no one reached out to you and said, listen.
I mean, the story is really I think that they didn't think that I was going to take it well, and there were grandkids, and you know, of course, they called our grand, you know, our grandpa, our grand uncle, and so some elders were there, but they didn't know how to say. So she was surrounded by her loved folks, you know, because they went to wake her up from the story I heard, and then she just didn't wake up. So they had gone to the hospital that she was getting treatment in, a private hospital, which I won't say, because she had a doctor and a private nurse at home, but they had left the day before. You know, she was getting her drips and she was getting her vitamin D. She was getting everything intravenously. And I had spoken to her the day before, but she was telling me, you know, Veronica, I'm tired. And I said, no, you can't be tired, you know? So I was like, no, you can't be, you know, you can't give in, is what I was saying to her. It's not possible. You know, we're not ready yet. You know, you have so much to see. And I was telling her, Mom, the cases, you're going to win your cases. It's like, yeah, but I'm just tired of fighting. You know, I'm just tired. They just keep fighting me, meaning, you know, some of the family members, which I will mention later.
Okay.
And I said, oh, you can't give in. So then from what I heard later that she passed away in her sleep. So this is around 12. So they took her to quite a few hospitals, took her to the clinic that she had been treated in, although she was getting treatment from home, from a private physician. And so that's how I found out.
So I mean, is it okay to tell us the cause of death?
No, because I know there's been speculations. I'd rather not say, just because she didn't share it with people. And the reason she didn't share it with people because she thought she was going to recover. So that's the reason. But I can say,
did the doctor tell you the cause of death? Those that pronounced her dead, did they say anything?
You know, I got the death certificate, but I just haven't really looked at it. I was handed it when I got here, you know, by my grand uncle, and I just didn't really look at it. So I don't know what they wrote as cause of death. I mean, it's still surreal having your mom's death certificate. So I just packed it and waiting for my siblings to come. But I mean, we knew the primary cause, but she's always been well, because a lot of her causes We're spiritual. So just say, for example, we would take her to hospital. She would be having all these things happening in her body. And then the scan shows nothing, you know? She would have bruises, but then there was nothing. So we knew a lot of the stuff that was underneath it, you know? So it didn't matter how it manifested to us.
So if you listen through this conversation, because we are having a conversation, I don't like to call this an interview. If you can answer, don't answer. But it's my work too. It's my job to ask you. Your mother, she was sick. Am I correct?
She was ill the last 2 years, but she's had challenges throughout the years. You know, she had different health challenges. And a lot of those health challenges were unexplained.
So which one should be the takeaway? She was sick. What kind of sickness?
She was just ill. That's the thing. The thing is, she's no longer here because of an illness that manifested.
You choose not to speak about it, but you knew that she was diagnosed with some, because when you go to the hospital, they got to diagnose you, right?
She had that diagnosis. That's the reason I took her out to go and get treatments. And she had quite a few surgeries. And she would recover for a while, and then it would be great, and then she'll get ill again.
How old was your mother?
My mother was 71. She was born 1954, July 18th.
Okay, wow. Your mother was 71. And she was still young though. She was.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
I believe she was still young.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm saying that, look at Uncle Sam. He's 72 and he's still talking. But then look at your mother, you know, she was still young. Again, have my sympathy. We're going to have a good conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to One-on-One with the CEO. We have Veronica Mamindo here. We're going to say all. We're going to talk it all. So, I'm free to ask all the questions respectfully. And, Veronica is free to answer when she deemed necessary. But we want to say to you, share the show, tell somebody that the long-awaited interview with Veronica Mamindo is happening right now. We will take your question if you post your question on our live feed, but we'll not open the phone line. If you do have question, post your question. We will ask Veronica to continue to share the show that we can come to some understanding here as Liberia. You know, the former president, Master Sergeant Samuel Kanyando, he served our country, and the former first lady, she passed away, but we have to live on with her children, her family. And so it is only good to have this conversation. How's your brother, before we get to the other part of it? How's Doe Jr.? How's Samuel?
Sam, it's okay. I mean, he has been better. He's not great. We wish him to be better. So, but he's doing better. It's not what was printed recently, but yeah, he's having some health challenges.
Will he be able to? Will he come to Liberia for the funeral? Definitely,
by God's grace, yes.
Okay, so it means that he can get around, unless what people are young, right?
While he can definitely move around. Yeah.
Okay, so but who is Ambassador Asa Youngblood to the family?
So he is my my father's younger cousin. So he's my uncle technically, and he was a senator for about 9 years for Grand Jita. I don't recall the year, and then also he was pro tem.
Correct.
Madam, is it pro tem? Yeah, pro tempore.
Yeah, pro tem. Yes, pro tem.
For Madam Sirleaf's government, and then he was assigned in Europe as the ambassador for about 9 years. So he was the EU ambassador for about 9 years. So he's a very intelligent person.
How's your relationship with him? How's the family relationship with him?
I mean, our relationship is good, you know. He was a very instrumental person in my mom's life. You know, they were together in Guinea when she went there. And then when President Taylor invited her to Liberia, he accompanied her. And then they were together also during the refugee days in Ivory Coast. So he and my mom, they had a very close relationship, you know, before his appointment. So he is definitely a family member. And it's also, he's been very great in terms of being on ground, because when my mom passed away, we weren't here. Like I said, we weren't expecting it to be so sudden. We were just hoping that she would recover. And so he just took the horns, really, and he's been really pulling together this burial, liaising with the government and with senators. So he's really good strategically. He's really good politically. He's just an all-rounder. But for me, I only really met him the first time when I got back to Liberia last week. But I used to hear about him from my mom a lot, but I never really got to see him before. So the time that I was back in Liberia, I guess that's when he was really like EU, because I was really back in Liberia 2012. So maybe we just sort of missed each other. So I didn't really get to see him. I did hear about him though.
So all this, the only time in your life you met Ambassador Asa Yamblo is when you came to Liberia.
Yes.
Wow. So, but what is his role in this funeral arrangement and family arrangement? What is Ambassador Asa Yamblo role, and who gave him that role?
Well, when my mom first passed away, he told me what he wanted to do and how he wanted to help us. And I was delighted because I wasn't on the ground. So his role, because I've been working, my role as a management consultant is project management. You manage programs, like I manage the UK COVID program. So you manage things from conception to implementation. So he's been on ground. He's just been in charge of everything. He's been in charge because he knows the tradition. He knows the formalities. He knows the people everywhere. So he's just been really good. He's, I would say, a project director or project manager, but he had been linking in with me. We would communicate every day, because I didn't get here until this week. I think I got here just about 2 weeks after my mom passed. So he was the one who's the to-go guy. He was speaking to everyone. He was coordinating the efforts with, Dimitri Swear in America. So he was getting that done. And then also with the people in Zwedger, he was getting that done. So pretty much he was just pulling it all together. But also he was linking with me. He was asking me, what is happening, what we could do, what are the next steps. And, so we were working together as a really good team, and we still are.
So who gave him the role? You, or he just took it upon himself?
I think it was just unnatural. It was just a natural thing. So my role, program manager. So I know how to manage things. And I know the importance of having someone on ground. I think he just fell into it, and he just took the opportunity, and he was just really heartbroken by my mother's passing,
So I mean, are you pleased? Is he performing well? Is he performing to your satisfaction?
I think he's doing an excellent job. I think he is.
Okay, so then we come to we get in there. If you think he's doing an excellent job, did he tell you to accept those gifts from the former president, George Manawaya?
No, he didn't. He didn't demand that I accept them. So what happened was, as former President Weah was giving his speech. So first of all, he was the liaison, he was the link. So as the president was giving his speeches, and certain things he said that triggered me, and then I would say to him, "That's not true." He said, and then he would respond. And then something else would happen. And then I said, "I'm not going to accept that." He said, "Okay, we'll talk about it later." And then something else would happen. I said, this is unacceptable. So I was saying what I wanted, and he was saying, "Okay, probably not now, but I will sort it out." Do you understand? So it wasn't a defiance to say, "No, you have to accept it." I mean, the only time where he said that was when he was handing me the cash, and I didn't want to accept it. And he was saying, "Come on, take it. We'll talk about it. Take it." And I said, "No." He said, "Come on, take the cash. We'll talk about it." So probably the people behind us would have heard us. So then I took it, took the cash. But he knew how I felt, because if there was a clip somewhere that I did see where you could see that I was linking in with him. So I was reacting to the things that was being said, and I was telling him what I was happy with and what I wasn't.
So before we get to the cash, because again, Nelson, can you upload all those videos and those clips? before we get to the cash, Veronica,
Yeah.
were you informed that the former president was coming at the program?
Yes. You know, I was really, really excited to be there. Okay. So my uncle had been linking in, Ambassador Nyambo had been linking in with me. And he had been speaking to, to the former president. So everything was good. So what the scheduling was a conflict because, he had also been linking in with the current president, President Boyka, to come. So the understanding was, this is from the former President Weah, was to give President Boyka the chance to come because he had already said he was going to come. It was just trying to work out the conflicts in his schedule. Do you understand? So we were expecting him on one day, but he already had an event in Nimba, and he was trying his best to get there, but then he wasn't able to. So that meant that former President Weah's visit was pushed back, and he was happy with that. He was saying, this is the current president. His schedule, comes before mine. And even I remember, so he was talking and said, what is it that we wanted? The pressing thing before we met the president, President Boyka, was the whole cost and the whole thing regarding, the embalmment, the caskets, everything with that funeral arrangements. And so he was asking for invoices, and we hadn't gotten invoices at that time. And so he was really preemptive. He really wanted to get.
Who was asking for invoices? I'm sorry, who?
President Weah was really involved. Yeah. So this is why I'm saying that Ambassador Nyambo did a fantastic job, because he was linking with everyone. And so when we got there, it was just a matter of scheduling President Boyka's first before President Weah, which is what he said, and it makes perfect sense. So
okay, I'm going to hold you 1 minute because something is escaping. Can you tell the producer to come on 1 minute? Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. We'll continue. We got to make a quick switch. Nelson, can we please reposition Veronica? Let put her on your seat. It would be better if you don't mind, Nelson, because we need a clear interview here. So guys, you're gonna hang with us while we bring back Veronica Mamindo. They're gonna switch seat because we want her to be very clear. She's skipping. I was going back to the question who were asking for those invoices, and then we will get into the real juice of this conversation. We are having a family round dining room table conversation. It's not like your everyday interview, but we'll get the best out of this conversation. Continue to share the show, and we will give you nothing but the best news. Now, we will go back to ask about everything that's been out there on the street, and I want to welcome you. Continue to join us. We have Veronica Mamindo in studio. Again, we will go back in studio once she's seated, and then bring you the rest of the news. I'd like to welcome Barbara Watson. Barbara Watson, Striker Do is here. David Williams is here. Let's bring in A.B. Kamala. A.B. Kamala, thank you for joining us. We're going to bring in Ishmael Raham, Godfrey Sonin, Michaela's son is here. Freeman is here. Frere Zuluba is here. Helena Nyapan. Amirada, I know you're enjoying this interview. I'm seeing your comments. Why they reposition themselves, I'm going to say to you, let me flag some of your comment. It's always good. We will get to the carb meat. Most of you guys want to talk about that. Pork to carbs, we'll talk about it, but we'll talk about some seriousness about the former president, George Manneh. We are the current president. The former president, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, I believe, will be hearing Madam Veronica do very well. Can you hear me now? Hello? Can you hear me, Nelson? Can we have some?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're good. Thank you very much. I think it's better this way. Thank you very much. So let us get into it. I was asking, who was asking for invoices? The former president or the current president?
The former president. The former president, Weah, was asking for invoices. He was extremely engaged with Ambassador, and I was being kept into the loop. So I was really, really looking for a really real reconciliation, and I just thought was happening because he from I didn't speak to him directly. So from what I was speaking with the ambassador, um, he was really looking forward to coming. He said we're a family, and he really wanted to meet because I've never met him before, despite what everyone said. I've never met him before, so I was really looking.
Wait. In all your life, you never met the former president before?
Never. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. 2001, my mom was invited to the State of the Union in January 12th or 21st, 2021. So I was in the audience.
2001.
No, 2021.
2021.
Yes.
Okay.
So my mom was on the stage. We were invited. I took her, and I was in the audience. So that's when it was the first time I actually saw him. Mouse. So it was the first time I actually saw him. But of course,
before we get to the invoices, when you saw him 2021, you guys exchanged conversation?
No, I mean, when you're president and you're given the State of the Union, you don't really talk to people you don't know. He wouldn't have recognized me.
Did he recognize your mom?
He just came in. She was on the stage. You know how they do the outline. So
Correct.
All the people were sat on the stage, and he was standing at the podium. So he just came in, did his speech. I'm not sure if he actually turned around. So he wouldn't have ignored her because he probably wouldn't have seen her because of so many people. Does that make sense?
Did he say anything to you or your mother after the speech?
No, he wouldn't have had a chance to because it was packed. With so many people. He wouldn't have been able to. I mean, he was shaking people's hands in the crowds, but those were the people that he would have known. He definitely wouldn't have known me.
So you were in the audience.
Yes.
You saw him. You didn't say anything to him. He didn't say anything to you.
He wouldn't have seen me to say anything to me. He wouldn't have recognized me, rather. Because
I understand. But let's just go back. You didn't say anything to him. He didn't say anything to you.
I waved because everyone was cheering.
Okay.
If to the State of the Union speech, it's almost euphoric. So everyone was happy. People were clapping because it's when they were making all the promises that they were going to do for that year. So it was a nice feeling. It was a buzz, like, yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. So it was really nice. So I waved.
Thereafter, after the program, do you remember saying anything, talking to the former president? Do you remember that your mother getting you involved with the conversation about her benefits and other stuff that would come to since?
It was a public gathering. So it was a public meeting. It's not something to go and talk to someone.
No, I say after that meeting. After that meeting. You remember anything?
Yeah. So I don't know. I can't remember the year that she actually went to see him. So yeah, so that would have happened before, with the recording that we now have.
Yes.
So because that recording was right after the inauguration. It wasn't long after. It was within that same 2018 year. So it would have been a couple of years that we went to the State of the Union address.
When your mother went to see the former president, you wasn't there, right? Were you?
No. I was at home. I didn't go with her. It was her, it was another gentleman, and it was our cousin Nathaniel. They went there together. So it was three of them.
When your mother passed away, did you receive a phone call from the former president, George Manawiya?
No.
He have never called you since?
I've spoken to him on phone. Ever.
Did you, when you went to Liberia, you never talked to him? You never spoke to him?
No, so the only phone number we had was for the protocol at that time, which was Finna Bono. Is that how you say her name?
Yes.
Bono or Bono. Yeah, so that was the number that we had. So, she had gone back and forth to the offices quite a few times. So that was the number that was given. And that was the number that her number was blocked from. So she couldn't get through.
Okay. So let's talk about the death. You went to Liberia, you arrived in the country. The former president didn't talk to you. Did any of the other, did Madam Sadiq talk to you? Have she spoken to you? I'm sorry, we got people on the radio that want to hear your answer.
No, I've never
Did President Barker call you? He spoke to you by the phone?
He called Sam a week after she had passed on his way to her trip. So Sam spoke to him, and I spoke to the Minister of State. He called me to ask me if it was true. So, but It wasn't on behalf of himself, because I do talk to him, once in a while.
So none of the president, former or current, call you directly?
Not me, no. But
who is your mother POA?
Point of contact?
Yes.
Well, it depends. So in general, in administrative stuff, it would be me. You know? Yeah.
And then in Liberia would be who?
Would be her grandson, Hanson.
And what's the name?
Hanson.
Hanson.
Yeah.
Did they know that you was a POA administratively?
I mean, people came to the yard, and then he would call me, and I would talk to them. So a lot of people came. So I did speak to some representatives who came. For example, some of the former representative Alfonso, he was there from day one, and also Representative Sokan. He's been amazing. He's been there pretty much every single day, although he'd never really met my mom. So we got relationships from people going to the yard and asking for numbers and putting me on the phone. And also, the reason I had said that Ambassador Yambo was excellent was because he was in the yard every single day. He was managing the committee. I mean, honestly, it's just now I'm hearing about all the committees that are formed for wakes. So he was there managing it, making sure things are done, people are fed, so there was a lot of things in motion on the ground. So if someone had gone to the house, they would have probably gotten hold of me, because he was definitely there. And so Ambassador Yamba was putting me on the phone with some people who was there. And also
and I think we got in somewhere. I want to appreciate all of your answer. Let's get to ask you more questions here, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, we are speaking to Veronica Mamin Doe, the daughter of the former president, Samuel Kanyan Doe, and that of the former First Lady, our own mother, Nesibi Doe. Again, our sympathy goes out to the family. Why were you angry? And why did you return the former president 2 cows, 50 becquerels, and 5,000 back?
So let me just set the stage. I had never met him in person before, so I was looking forward to meeting him for the first time, as I said earlier. And, I was hopeful, because of the conversations between him and Ambassador Yambo, that things really would have been a real reconciliation. And all I was expecting was him to say he was sorry. Let's forget everything, because, with us being Kron, you have to, most times, it's at funerals, burials is where people come together, and, you have to act when you forget it and you move forward. So that's what I thought was going to happen based on the conversations that were being had, although I didn't speak to him myself. And so, and also, I just really wanted him to say sorry about the treatment for my mom, not so much for me, because I had really put that behind me, like the letter in response to his condolence message. It was already behind me once the conversation started, But I just want us to move to a better place, because we're supposed to be family. There's supposed to be unity amongst us. And also, I just really wanted an ally, in Liberia. I just really wanted someone who we can connect with, family can, and just, put it behind us. So I had huge expectations on that front. A simple sorry would have done. But then when the conversation started, it was implied that my mother was a liar, and saying that he had met her 3 times, when in fact it was actually only 1 time. And also she had gone on the record to explain her experience. So remember, she had gone on the OKFM before, a couple years before, and she was being asked a lot of questions, and she just refused to answer anything. She had that hope that there would be a connection You know, she was holding on to something. It was only in the last years where she was just making peace that maybe this will never ever happen. And I'm not carrying this burden any longer. So all of that, with her being implied that she's a liar, number one. And also bearing in mind my mother, I'm just still adapting the fact that she is no longer here. And then getting said that, oh, the dead don't speak or the dead can talk. That really just hit my heart, you know? It's like a stab, is what I felt like. And then when he sat down, I did ask him again. I said, when did you say the last time you met my mother was? How many times have you met her? He said 3 times. So he pretty much echoed everything he said up there in his seat. And then so I was just fuming. And then I turned around. That's when I turned around and spoke to the ambassador and said, no, I can't accept this gift. I can't. And he said, okay, we'll talk about it later. Okay. So it was those things. And then I think the straw that really broke the camel's back was when he turned to me and said, oh, I thought you were coming to my place. So then I turned around again to my uncle and said, this program has gone on for too long. It needs to end. It needs to end now. So then my uncle walked up to the convoy and the protocol, and whatever he said, that's when, the former president got up and he did a side hawk. And then when he went trying to walk to the car, that's when they told him, oh, we're not ready to go yet. And then that's when he sat back down. And then I re-echoed, I can't accept this money. He's like, okay. So what I didn't want to do was to stand up and cause an embarrassment, especially.
So let me hold you. I know you said something. Did the former president said to you, I told you were coming to my place?
Yeah.
Were there any arrangement that you were to go to his place?
That had been broached, but I thought it was unacceptable. Absolutely no way. I'm the one who was.
Sorry, I didn't. Let's go back. Were there any arrangement? You said that has been broached. What's that? What was that?
Well, from my end, it wasn't concrete. It was just a conversation that was had. It was just like, would you consider, because of the scheduling stuff that we're trying to arrange? And then I said, absolutely not.
So let me hold you. So let me hold you. Who asked you to go visit the former president, to go to his place? Who? How did it come about?
Well, I don't want to go into that.
We have to go into that, because if somebody said to you, any arrangement were made.
I think a lot of things were probably thrown out there in terms of scheduling. So when that was said, I said it's absolutely unacceptable. This is someone who I've never ever met, and besides, given the current environment, I'm the one who's being. I don't go anywhere. I stay in my house, and I'm met in my house. So I didn't think anything of it until he said, I thought you were supposed to come to my house. And all I said was, really? He said, yeah. And then I turned around to my uncle and I said, this program is going on for too long. It needs to end. And then that's when he got up and spoke to the envoy.
Did your uncle ask you to go visit the former president? We have to come back to this now, because you are Benview, like everybody. So I mean, everybody shut down everything and they listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
You are saying the president turned to you and said, I told you were supposed to come to my house. That is a breaking news.
Not house. So it could have been an office, but he said, I thought you were supposed to come to my place. So probably not house.
Yeah, I told you were going to come to my place. Let's say exactly what he said. I told you were going to come to my place. But my point is that, were there any prior arrangement of you going to the former president place?
No, it was not an arrangement. What was happening was a discussion. Would you consider? And I said, absolutely not. So I didn't really think.
Who asked you? Who brought up the discussion that would you consider?
Well, it's my uncle, because he's the one who's making all these arrangements. He's multitasking with the government, with the reps and stuff. So I didn't take it in bad faith. The reason I objected really was because I've never met this person, and also I'm the one who's grieving. You can't go to someone else's house and present yourself as the grieving child or whatever. It just wasn't acceptable. So I never entertained it, and I never thought much of it. So when it was brought up for discussion, because, we were thinking about what time, what day, you have that discussion. We're trying to schedule meetings. So I didn't really think anything, but I just never thought.
So your uncle, I'm sorry. So your uncle asked you when? When did he ask you? When you were on your way to Liberia? When you got to Liberia? When did he ask you?
When I was already there. Yeah.
When you were in Liberia?
Yes, he was trying to make a lot of arrangements with limited schedules with people who are extremely busy. Do you understand? I don't think it was done in bad faith. I just think it was just a suggestion. But I didn't think much of it. So I think because I was already annoyed with what had transpired, that was just the last straw. It's like, okay, this program needs to end,
Did you say this program need to end because he said, I thought you were coming to my place?
No, because I was already, to get, when there's an implication that your mom is a liar, everything else is red. You don't really see anything else. That's all you're hearing, right? And then when you're being reminded that the dead don't talk, and then you're the one who's trying to get touched, like, okay, my mom is now being referred to as the late, and she is dead, and she is still in the morgue, cold, and we haven't buried her yet. So it's just that accumulations of things. So when he had mentioned that, it was too much for me to bear. But what I did not want to do was to embarrass him and embarrass people on a public stage. That's what I did not want to do. So the plan was for him to return things silently and diplomatically. So because he's the kind of person who can handle stuff. He's very good. So I didn't think my request was out of the ordinary, because I was talking to him throughout the whole day, and I was telling him, nope, that's not acceptable. I reject that. So he knew my thoughts.
Yeah, can you put the name to the he? He, your uncle, Ambassador Yamplo, correct?
Mm-hmm. He's the only one who's. Mm-hmm.
Okay, you wanted the former president. We'll talk about President Barker, and we'll talk about Zo Penu. We'll talk about everyone else tonight. You wanted the former president to apologize. Apologize.
Even privately, it wasn't supposed to be public. It was, it was just supposed to be a private conversation between us to say, look, I may have said this. I wish I had done this better. Or even someone said, I wish I had called her. I wish I had done this. Would have been suffice. Let's move on. Because you cannot say let's move on without acknowledging what was done wrong. I mean, my mom cried, for God's sake.
We want to play the clip of Mommy. My question is now to you, what exactly you want? Probably the former person is listening to you right now. What exactly you want him to apologize for?
Sorry for the way he treated my mother. Simple. If you've seen the clip, you've seen the clip. If that was your mom saying that, right?
Do you want us to play the clip? We have played it. I mean, we have it in studio. I'm just asking you. Your mom said a lot of stuff, and you wanted him to say, "I'm sorry."
I just want people to put themselves in my position. If that was your mom, explaining all the things that she had endured for 6 years from someone who she thought would have changed things for her, because she's not begging. This is her entitlement. It's just someone to say, okay, yes, this is your entitlement. This is what we're going to give you. Simple. It was no need for all of that aggro for her to make her
consider. And I agree. We'll come there. Like everyone would say in Liberia, oh, George, we are the President Doe's son. You buy that? You think that when people say that, you feel proud that the former president is a son of, he got a son by the name of George. We are doing it's not his biological son, but he made him, he exposed him. You take pride in that?
I think he's the only African footballer to have won that golden ball, isn't it? So
yeah, to get those great achievement. Yep.
So it's fantastic. It's a proud moment for all of us, because he did something where most Africans, and how many talented African players are there? There are many. So he's done a great achievement. So for my father to be a part of that is, of course, is great, you know. But we just do not want the words. We just want more than we want action.
Okay.
And also, if your family has done something wrong, you apologize, especially at the death of someone, because a lot of the thing that's happening now in my family now is people just assume that probably you think someone is going to live longer, and then you realize, oh, that they're no more. So I wish I could have done that. I wish I could have said this. Or I wish I didn't do that. So it's the time for us to all get together, and that's what we were hoping for.
So let's go back 6 years. Your adopted brother, the former president. Everybody would say yes, that Summer Kayando's son. That's what we heard growing up. You know, it was the president of Liberia, mommy.
Mm-hmm.
Did you achieve anything? Let's talk about you. Let's talk about your siblings, especially your brother. What was the story between the former president and your mother appealed to him? Let's talk.
Well, I think she said everything she had to say. She went there specifically that day, for his job to remain, because I think my brother had heard rumors about that he was going to lose his job. So, my mom says, okay, since I've been invited, because it was the first lady photo opportunity. So she said, okay, since I'm going to go there, I'm going to have this opportunity to talk to him. And so that's what happened. And she just was asking about his job. So everything she said on the tape is what happened.
Did you talk to your brother? You think he was treated well? I mean, can we talk to him tonight? If you think we can. Do you think your brother was treated well under the 6 years of the former president, George Manaway?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I think he wanted to talk to you himself, but I'm not sure, because you didn't respond on time. So I'm not sure if he's available. But you would best be able to speak to him. I don't think he was treated poorly, because although he was released from his job at that time, he did get a consultancy role. Probably a year or 8 months afterwards, he did get another role. It wasn't the role that he had, and there was a gap of about a year or so maybe. But he would be the best person. So I wouldn't say he was treated horribly. I think it was my mom. So my brother wasn't entitled to that job. Do you understand? It's not like my mom, who was entitled to her pensions or her benefits. His job, you serve at the pleasure of the president. That's why it was a request, So his job was a request. It wasn't a demand. If he didn't get the job, he didn't get the job. It wasn't an obligation. So I can't say he was treated poorly, because he wasn't.
Do you think that the former president stopped your mother from receiving her pension?
No, because she wasn't receiving it before. So he didn't stop. He just didn't give it to her.
Do you blame Madame Salif and now the current president, Joseph Boakai, for your mother not receiving her pension before? Under 12 years of that?
I mean, well, let me just make this caveat. I'm not a political person, and I don't aspire to be. And part of the reasons I'm here is to really explain my mom's story in terms of what she endured, So other than just this, there's so many things that she endured. And I think her treatment started badly after President Taylor, because, President Taylor treated her awesome. He gave her 2 cars. He did so much. He told her about the benefits, about pension, what was entitled to. He told her about her husband's death benefits. I think he started the process, the application for it. So, and he also returned all her security, just all her benefits that's in the Constitution for them to receive. He did that for her. You understand? So after he left, we were expecting the same thing. But mind you, the treatment that she got from President Taylor, it was the same thing that my father gave to the former First Lady. But people don't know that. They had a one-on-one relationship. Former First Lady, Mrs. Stolbert. They had a good working relationship for over 10 years of the period. My mom used to talk it, but it was just my mom saying. We didn't realize how true it was until Mrs. Talbot's daughter, who we had invited to the Semikindo Foundation, said, well, I'm not able to attend, but let me tell you my relationship with your father. And she started telling us so much, how they were close, how they had one-on-one relationship, and my father would not allow her mother to contact anyone else regarding anything, all the properties, all the pension, the funding, the payroll, everything went through him. And so she said they became close, they became good friends because they knew what really happened on that night. And also they knew who was really in charge. So there was a lot of things that they were able to lay to, he asked for forgiveness, So she said she was able to tell us that stuff. Like my mom would say, oh, sometimes my father would come home and say, oh, I just met Mrs. Talbot today. We discovered this, and I had to give her this check because of this. And yeah, so she had grown up. My mom had been aware that, my father had a very good relationship. None of her cases went to court because it was through the president, and she could come and go directly to his office. So she was expecting something similar. So when when former President Taylor reciprocated that, she was happy, of course, with the war and everything, but he was doing to her what my father had done to Mrs. Talbot. They had been close. And even his daughter had said that, because she was a pastor, the first daughter, said that before the war came, the Lord laid upon her heart for her to take a Bible to my father and pray with him and for him to give his life to Christ. We didn't even know that. We didn't think he was a Christian, but she told us all that. And she told us so much more personal stuff about how they were great. So after President Taylor and everything that had transpired, it was almost like it was just blockages for my mom everywhere, Then she had to fight for my father's death benefits in the court, and then she had to prove that he was actually indeed president of Liberia. I know you wouldn't believe it, but it was true. And that was a 5-year battle where they said, okay, we're not going to say he was president for 10 years, but we're just going to say he was president for 5 years. So based on that, we would give him a portion of his death benefits, which they did. And then that came because this was the former chief Supreme Court judge, Johnny Lewis. He was really insisted, he really, and he used to come call my mom and say, look, I'm trying really hard, but my hands are tied. So it was the system. I'm saying this not to blame any particular government, but it was the system. So someone, which is the head, had to really go and say, okay, this system is unacceptable. So that's the reason she had blockages. We had over 7 cases in court from 20 years,
So my question to you, what did Madam Salif do to help your mother situation, her pension, her husband pension, her benefit, your husband benefit? What did the Madam Salif and Joseph Walker 12 years in government, what did it do to alleviate the pressure your mother went through?
Well, I'd rather not call names. Let me just call dates. So what we do know was that she never got it after President Taylor. Still. So she's deceased now, still without it. She had a very tumultuous relationship with Madame Salif. So many things transpired between them, but also she had quite a few champions. She had champions in Mr. Francis Dunbar. She had champions in Councillor George Karanda, who I only met once when he was ill in hospital before he passed away, and also Chief Justice Johnny Lewis. They were saying this is not acceptable, but we cannot do anything about it. Do you understand? So that's what had happened. So the last thing that Chief Justice Johnny said was, okay, Madam Doe, let's just wait for the next government. Yeah, after this, let's just wait for the next government, which was December, 2017, when there was a change in government. So that's what she was waiting for. Do you understand? So that's what happened. But
so, I mean, if you those that listen to you, you are telling us that Madam Salif didn't do anything for your mother and your family.
Yeah. I mean, the government then didn't recognize her as being first lady. And
Madam Salif government?
Let's just say the government after Charles.
That's Madam Salif government. There's no way I can say it.
Yeah, so you can say it. the government after President Taylor did not recognize her as being first lady because they said her husband was never the president of Liberia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a break? You
No.
need some water. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. So I even brought a document. I'm not even sure it can show. So it was just an email correspondence. It's just proposed. So it was an out-of-court settlement where they had to agree. I'm not sure if you can see it. No, you can't see it. So it's just
Do you
an
want to screenshot it and send it to me if you'd like us to put it up?
Yeah, so it's just a out-of-court settlement where they had to agree that he wasn't president for 10 years, but he was president for 5 years and that was 5 years going back and forth in court. Do you understand? So if your husband is not a president, then the person is telling you you're not first lady. So she was not recognized at all. And also she had an invitation to go to the US in 2015 because she was being recognized by the Niao Kran Association for her achievement being the first indigenous first lady. And so she went to the foreign ministry. This is 2015. And you know how you do, you take in your diplomatic passport and you say, okay, can I have a new passport, please? Because of course you have to say the reason, because I need to travel to this place. And so, okay, Madame Doe, we will take your passport and then we'll come back in a week or so. And then 1 week turned to months, and then months turned to years. And then eventually in 2021, we went there and demanded her passport. We said, look, it's too long. She needs to travel. And they said, well, your passport is the property, it's a government asset. You can no longer have a diplomatic passport.
I beg, let me interrupt. I beg you. Mm-hmm. What year did she take her passport in?
2003.
2003.
15.
2015. Mm-hmm. Under the Madame Salif government. And what was the reason given that they couldn't give her the passport?
There wasn't any reason. It's just go come. You know how they do? It's just go come, go come, go come, go come. It's not ready yet. We're having difficulties with this one. I'll give it back to you. Our system is down. And then they said, oh, the guy who does the diplomatic passport, he has traveled and he's sick and he's on sick bay in America and he won't come back for here. So that was from 2015. She was just getting rejections until we actually went there and said, look, this is unfair. She needs to travel. You know, sometimes she has to come overseas for checkup. So she needs to travel. And then so the response was, that's when we got the response in 2021 that her passport had been seized because it's government property. So she wasn't eligible to apply for another one or to get another one. So
why did it seize it?
I don't know. So here's my mom's passport. This is
Nelson, can you screenshot it? We have to upload it. Nelson, please screenshot it, put it up. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, he's going to screenshot it. We are here with Mami Doe. If you give us the permission, we will screenshot it, Mami Doe, and put it up. That would be better. So is the producer in studio?
So so she died having been reduced from a diplomatic passport to just having an ordinary passport. I'm just saying this is like a systematic. So it wasn't.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's why. So you can imagine all these things. So she just knew that if she had seen someone in the head, because it was a system in place. You understand? And she was just blocked at every turn because we would get calls from the clerks and say, you know, we're not your enemies. We're trying our best, but we're not allowed. I mean, if the Chief Justice, Johnny Lewis, can call us and say, I've tried everything and there's nothing we can do.
Let me ask you a question. Did your mother receive any benefit under 12 years of Madame Salif government? Did she receive any benefit?
For her husband, she received her husband's death benefits for having served for 5 years. She did get that.
Okay.
After a 5-year battle in court. Because in order for you to
get... How much was that, if you care to tell us?
Oh, gosh. No, I think I'd rather not say.
Okay.
Because we know is not the right amount, but I don't want to open that other can. But that information can be found out by yourselves. So I'd rather you guys confirm that on your end. Okay.
Did she receive a benefit as a first lady?
She was never recognized. She was told that she's not first lady.
Wait. I'm smiling because this is how I'm having a great conversation with you, and as a sister, I really want us to just cool off the tension, folks. I've seen what you're posting out there. Mommy Do is here to explain, and I hope we'll be able to get the truth today, like we are hearing. 12 years under Madam Salif, under the Unity Party government. Did your mother receive any of her benefit as a former first lady?
For herself, for her services that she served for 10 years, 0.
Wow.
And when she had complained, she went to the press, and then we got a car, a white Chevrolet, a beat up car towed into the yard. Say, since you want a car, here's your car. So then she had to find money to pay to get it out.
Let's come to currently. You have not spoken to the current president, who served as vice president for 12 years under Madam Salih. Did your mother talk to him since he won the election?
No, but she used to speak to him, during when he was VP. And she always used to say that he was very nice to her, He was very nice to her. She always used to say that, So I spoke to him when he came to sympathize with me, I was a bit apprehensive because we had written letters before, and my mom really wanted to speak to him regarding the reburial and everything. And we weren't able to actually get any response from those letters or those calls. But I can say when I spoke to the president, first of all, he was very, very sympathetic with me. He apologized for not being able to come sooner. He explained other things which I won't share, but pretty much his schedule. And also the fact that he even sent his VP, he sent his VP Saturday before he came, and he came on a Thursday. So he just the way he spoke,
he got it on a Friday.
Oh, he got there on a Friday, yeah, on a Thursday. So just the way he spoke, he just reassured me. Of course, we're gonna have a state burial for your mom. He spoke lovely things about my parents. He acknowledged what they had done for the country. It was just so all the apprehension that I had just left. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't even thinking, oh, why didn't you respond? He's extremely busy. And then he was able to.
So we'll come to now, right? Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to understand something. She didn't get her benefit 12 years on the Unity Party government. Here comes President George Manu. I want to keep President Barker for last because he's the current president. Please allow us to do so. Sure. Did she get her benefit under President George Manu?
Nothing.
Not as a first lady, nothing?
Nothing.
Wow.
I keep saying she wasn't recognized as the first lady. Yeah. So
no, you told me she wasn't recognized as a first lady under Madam Salim, but what about President George Manu?
She was told to her face after President Taylor, she wasn't recognized. Because mind you, I told you we were in court, remember? We were in court to prove that Samba Kayando was in fact president of Liberia for 5 years. So we just thought that would be the best route instead of trying to prove that she was first lady. So we had to prove who she was. As if they weren't who they were. So we agreed and say, yes, let's come to an agreement that after 5 years of going back and forth in court, we will settle that he was president for 5 years. So that's how she was able to get a portion of his death benefits. But for her, she wasn't given anything because she still wasn't recognized as first lady. So it's like, okay, I'm going to recognize your husband for 5 years, but I don't have to recognize you as first lady. And she never was.
Wow. So 12 years of Unity Party, they couldn't recognize your mother as first lady. Mm-hmm. 6 years of CDC, They couldn't recognize your mother as first lady. That's 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
Your mother is hurt. Thank God 2023 we won the election. Did President Barker recognize your mother as first lady and give her a benefit?
We haven't received any benefits up to date, but I can tell you that when I spoke to him when he came, sometimes, the president is hard to get in touch with. So it's when I realized that we had been trying to reach him through probably not the right people, because the way he empathized with us and the things that he said, of course, she's first lady. Of course, why shouldn't she have a burial? Of course, your father. So it's almost, I didn't even have to explain. He just put my mind at ease right away. And he said,
so, also, mommy, of course, President George Weah said she was a first lady, but he didn't give her benefit, right? So I'm not looking for one to say she's a first lady. I'm looking to see who gave her that benefit when she was alive. You are saying all these years, your mother, we recognize her because we grew with it. Though I was born 1975, though was my president. That here, and my thing is that for us to even question whether your mother was a first lady, and she didn't get her benefit today, I see on the live if you were saying, man, that's shocking.
So let me ask Nelson. So this is a letter, a stipulation for withdrawal from my mother to withdraw the case against the government, saying that we won't pursue them and to come to a settlement that my father was president for 5 years. So that was the negotiation.
Who honor which government?
So you'll see it.
Okay, listen, can you put it up? I beg you, just upload everything, screenshot them. Let's show it to our folks, ladies and gentlemen. Nelson, you have to put them up. Don't send it to me, please. Just put them up. We got to share it. While we uploading all this document, now we understand your mother passed away without receiving any of her benefit as first lady.
And also the reason that she was even more hurt was because when her passport was taken, was because that would have been the first time that she was recognized in the US, because that was the time that she was supposed to travel to America. I forgot her plaque to get her award. So that would have been her first recognition, and which is what she explained. So almost like, oh, okay, so you think you're going to get recognized. That's why they didn't say anything. I told you there was GoCom. So we were on GoCom for 7 years until 2021, when they actually said point blank, your passport has been seized, is government property, and it cannot be renewed. So then she had to go and get a ordinary passport to travel.
All right, while we wait for the document, mommy, let's talk about a little bit. I want us to leave the precedent for a minute. We'll come back to it, and actually what's going on now with those two cows and everything. We heard that they want to wait to Grand Jita. We'll get to it.
What?
Let's talk about. No, I mean, you're gonna tell me. You're gonna tell me where are they? I mean, but we're gonna come to it. I love to give a little tease, mommy. But let's come back to somebody I really want us to talk about, Zo Penu. Who is Zo Penu to you?
Zo Penu is a demon.
He is what?
He is a demon. He is evil.
Oh wow.
So that is one of the reasons I'm here, because people are saying, why is it you're not doing the burial first? That was the plan, right? Who wants to talk about their mother's grief, and who wants to talk about it publicly? No one does. I sure don't. And people who know me know that I don't usually do social media. I haven't been on Facebook on my own name for about 6-7 years. I only just came in because of this situation under my own name. But normally I'm dormant, and I switch it off. I just turn it off. So probably I should have said it first. But one of the reasons I'm here, the main reason, is because, my mother's voice before the nation, I needed to explain her struggles, because if we're going to bury her, I want all that challenges to be buried along. And I want her to be heard, because she was not heard. It is very regrettable that her voice was not accorded any honor. It wasn't listened to at all, anywhere. Because remember, she went on the OKFM and she went on the Prince Double Show, and they really promoted her, and they were really seeking They used to contact us. Have you heard anything yet? Has this happened? And nothing. So I'm just here really because she lived as if she was never, ever First Lady of Liberia. No benefits, no pensions, no acknowledgments, no privileges. Like I said, her diplomatic passport was stripped from her. And she died with an ordinary passport, because there were systems, there were barriers put in place. I think it only could have taken a president to intervene rather. So, so that's why that's the first reason I'm here. And the second reason is to really reveal how Zo Penu was instrumental in the demise of my mother. Yeah. So not only was he instrumental in tormenting her while she was alive, he is going out of his way for us not to have a burial. It's not the government, it's anything else. It's Zo Penu. He tormented that lady for so long, So even after her death, Zo is still being a menace in her burial process. He stopped certain people from going. He's blocked this from happening. There's so many sabotages. That's the second most important reason I'm here. It's not because of fame or this. I don't even do social media. I don't even report about myself. I don't even have, my account was just activated after my mother died. And after the burial, I'm going to deactivate it too. But I can't stand there and do nothing and let her burial just go up in shits. Excuse my language. So that's the reason, is to let the government know, let everyone know, because I'm sure people always wanted to help my mother. But Zo Penu has blocked her profit, in addition to the systems that have been put in place against her. But Zo has been the enforcer. I mean, Zo is truly evil. I just cannot begin to tell you how evil he is. Even, because we're first cousins. So people from his side, of course, to visit us. And they were saying, all of them, quite a few people were saying, oh, when we heard that your mother had passed away, Zo was celebrating. He was happy. He said, okay, unless Veronica Mami Doe come and beg me and hold my feet, yeah, I'm going to make sure that no one from the government talks to her. I'm going to make sure that I don't even acknowledge her, because I have power over these governments. And he said, okay, let him go and bury her at Center Street at night. So he was celebrating. So, of course, I know how much he tormented her. I banned him. Do not come to the wake. Do not come to the burial. Stay away from us, because you caused this. The only thing you're going to be doing here is laughing. So that is the reason I'm here.
What's the family relationship with Zo Penu?
So his sister is, his mother is my father's older sister. So we're first cousins.
When last have you spoken to Zo? When was the last time you spoke to him?
The last time I spoke to Zo was 2023. And the reason I spoke to him then was because, he's always having family reconciliation. Okay, I'm going to bring your father documentation. And also he has my father's documents. I'm going to bring your father documents. This is what he promised my mother in 2023. He said, oh, Mom, I'm going to make sure I take you to President Weah. He's always at my house. We're always eating together. We're good friends. I'm going to take you there. I'm going to make sure I speak to the president. They're going to give you your benefits. They're going to recognize you as who you're supposed to recognize. You're going to have all your privileges, everything you're supposed to get. I'm going to make sure you get it. So my mom says, you know what? Things are, and also he said all your court cases, especially the one with Vonnie Sherman. He said, I'm going to make sure that you get it. I'm going to make sure that everything, the Vamuma, the Vonnie Sherman, everything, even the ECOWAS, I'm going to make sure that everything is settled. It shouldn't take me no more than a month. Everything will be fine. And I said to her, I said, Mom, please don't go. This guy has been saying this thing for the past, 15 years, and nothing has happened. We always meet him. And after we meet him, my mom gets ill. So I told her not to go. And she still went. And he had given the money and said to my mom, okay, Here's $300. We're going to celebrate at your house first on one day, on a Saturday, and then on Sunday, you'll come to my house. But at your house, I would like you to take this $300 and buy a white sheep and kill the white sheep in your house. And then a lady from Guinea, she was like, just visiting. And she said to my mom, don't you dare do it. Well, we want to kill people spiritually. That's what we do. We sacrifice white sheep in the yard. And she called me to tell me. And she said, just tell him you can't eat sheep, but you can eat goat. So go and get yourself a goat. So my mom, had the cook go and buy the goat and cooked it. And so he came over and he realized that it wasn't sheep, it was goat. And then he said, oh, he was mad, actually. He just pushed it one side and just ate popcorn. So the next day, my mom went over to his house to do the celebration because it's the reunification thing. This is like the third time in 10 years. And they ate everything, they drank, they were happy, they were talking. And then she said to his mom, Auntie Decio, who's my father's older sister, said to him, okay, so tomorrow, I want you to come over to my house. No, not tomorrow, the next weekend, because this is Sunday. Come to my house. Let's drink. Let's have fun. Let's have lots of liquor and eat fufu and stuff. And then the lady said to her, before I go back to your house, let's wait for a year and see where you are. Let's see where we are within a year. So my mom said, what does that mean? She's like, yeah, just go back and see. And then in a year, and then if you're okay, then we'll come back and celebrate. Stanton, I kid you not, my mom was deathly ill that night. She thought she was going to die. She said she felt like she was being roasted, like on fire, like how you do the spit roast. She said it's like fire all over her body. She couldn't breathe. So then she called her pastor and said, look, and he said, but I told you not to go. You've already given yourself to him spiritually. Don't go. But you've won. So the only thing you can do now is first thing in the morning before 6 o'clock, leave your house at 5:30. Get to his house, get on your knees and hold his feet and ask him to forgive you, ask him to release you and say, I haven't done anything to you. You have to release me. You're my son. So my mom did that. 5:30 in the morning. She got there. She got on her knees. She had to be helped on her knees because she was very unwell. And then she did it. And he said, okay, mama, wait. Let me go in the room. I'll come back. So he went in the room for 5-10 minutes and he came back. He said, I have released you small. So she still wasn't feeling better. He said, wait for 5-10 minutes. He helped her into the sofa. She sat down and then she felt a little bit better. And then that's how she left. And I brought her back to England right away. And from that day, she never recovered from that day.
Wow. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us. We got about 30 more minutes, like I said, 37 more minutes to stay with Mami Do. A lot is happening here. Wherever you're joining us from, we want to say thank you. We just have to do this back and forth. Is there anything else you want us to know about Zo Penu?
Well, Zo feels that any government in power is under him. Unless he's not Zo Penu. The thing is, he's boastful to us because he feels, who's going to listen to you? I've made sure that no one hear you, So this is what I like to say. When my mom first returned back to Liberia, probably 2003, 2004, she was approached by now current Senator Edwin Snow I think that the government was doing renovations for houses that was bombed, that really were damaged during the war. So he came to her. He said, Mrs. Doe, I'm from the LPRC. We would like to fix up your house. Can we do an estimate? So he sent an engineer to her house and they looked at it and said it was about $37,000. And he said, yeah, sure, Mrs. Doe, we're going to do it. So, and you can verify with him. And then so the next week, no one came and she called him. She said, but my son, you said you're going to do this. He said, yes. Sorry, Ma, you have to talk to your son, Zo Penu. I don't want to be involved in family business. And then too,
I'm sorry, and that's Edwin Snow telling your mother.
Yeah. And then too, so prior to that, in 1991, during the Amos Sawyer administration, he said that the Doe family should come and claim that, his cars and stuff. And Zo, no one nominated him, but of course, 91, 92, we weren't in the country. He went ahead and he claimed all of our cars. He was driving the white cars, the red cars, some of his clothing. When we used to see Zo, he used to be wearing our father's clothes, and we don't have anything to remember him in terms of material stuff. So that's another thing. We went to the Lebanese community, to the president, and we said to him, my father was doing businesses with you guys. Can you tell us, can you let us know information? And he said, yeah, sure, we're happy to. We're going to have a meeting and come back to you. So they had a meeting to agree to help my mom and his sister, especially she wanted to renovate her houses and to be part of the businesses that my father was in. And they came back and said, look, you have to talk to your family. This is family business. Zo said that we cannot help you, or else we're going to lose our businesses. And me, I'm in Liberia to make money. I'm not in Liberia to cause trouble. So that's what happened.
Who said that? Which one of the Lebanese leaders said that?
So this is like 2004 or 5. So whoever was the Lebanese president at that time in, the Lebanese Association, I don't know the name because I wasn't in Liberia at that time. But with Isa Eid, my mom spoke to him and said that was a house that he was selling. And she said, that's my husband's house. And he said, yeah, it is. But has Zo agreed? So what I wanted to say is the reason Zo has our documents is in 1990, May, during the war, my father called my mother and said, look, I don't think I'm going to get out of here because the war is much worse than I was being led to believe, because now he started patrolling himself. So I won't be able to get out. But I have a lot of things here. So my sister DCO, which is Zo's mom, is leaving for Ivory Coast. So I gave her some things, some briefcases to bring to you and the children. And I remember that conversation vividly because my mom was really upset because she had only just left 2 or 3 weeks prior, with the kids. She said, why did he give it to me? I just left. He said, but I didn't know things were going to turn this way. I thought we would have agreed some sort of peace, like a 2-month window where everyone can leave. Because, he was trying to secure peace for 2 months because he was being asked to choose who to take with him. And he wasn't able to say who he could take. So he was working on a 2-month peace agreement. And he told us, so I know them arguing. And also, if you were to hear the Prince Dubber tape, you would hear that she explained all that whole story. So I won't even go to details about the documents, but because we know that he has them, So he's just been blocking everything, The Zo Penu is not a Doe. He's our cousin, but he's not a Doe. He wouldn't allow, his wife nephew to come and run the company when his wife is a Sadie. You just don't do that, But he's been posing as a Doe family representative and forging documents, to conduct official businesses, So even one time when my mom in 2020, she went on the Grand Jita radio and said, don't vote for Zo. He is evil. He's done this. He's done that. Zo's mother made a recording on WhatsApp. I wish if anyone has that recording, if they could send it to us. Zo's mother said, yes, my brother gave it to me, but he gave it for me. It's not for you. You're not married to him. Your name is Nancy Bond. It's not Nancy Doe. I don't know what she was thinking. So I have it, and it's for me, and it's for my son. Your husband was president. Now it's my son's turn. So my mom said, what, you think the presidency is like a country club, a family membership? Who told you your wicked son is even able to be anything like a president? It's not you to determine. Give us our documents. And so on that recording, she admitted it. So Zo has done so many things. I mean, everyone knows all these murders allegedly that he's done with the magistrate. Nothing comes out of it. He had imprisoned people in jail for up to 18 years. I think they were only just released. Nothing comes out of it. He's a man all to himself. To the late Guion, where he went everywhere and he said, oh, all my things are happening is because of Zo. And nothing happened.
Listen, I know this is an independent network. Are you accusing alleging that Zo Penu is engaged in murder?
Of course he is. Of course he is. I know that he was the main cause of my mother's death. So when people are trying to make me political about this, and I am not political. I'm just, my experience with individuals understand. And the way they have treated my mother is what I'm focused on. I don't follow CDC policy. I don't follow UP. I don't follow politics, period. My issue is the way individuals in every government has treated her. So I'm not here to lambast all the entire government. No, I'm not. I have no dealings with politics. My thing is, so I don't even know which party Zo is, because I know he was with CDC and then he went to UP. So I don't know which one he is. Yeah. But so it's not about politics, So people are making things like, okay, I'm former president. I'm not. I am not.
But the thing is that you got nothing to say that, well, Zo is engaged. That's a person, of course. These are allegations that he engaged in murdering some people out there. He's a sitting senator. He represents your county, Grangida. But you are accusing him and making this huge allegation that he involved in killing individuals.
Yeah. I am, because he is. I mean, everyone knows it. So when you talk about the former magistrate, I mean, on his Facebook pages, he was writing, he was getting threats. He's before he died, he led a threat, and he was telling people, this person is after me because I don't want to rig the election. So
is Zo Penu involved with your mother passing?
I believe so. I mean, he tormented her. Even she was dying and she was crying out for him. She was like, she was crying and she was sick and she was like, oh, Zo, please. In her sleep, she'll have nightmares. Zo, leave me alone. Zo, leave me alone. Zo, leave me alone. The fact that she had to go and hold his feet for him to release her. And he went back into his room. He said, okay, I'm going to release her a little.
So, Mami, are these just things people tell you? Do you have anything to say they actually happen?
My mom said a lot of stuff about Zo. So anyone who wants to get more into it, I mean, I'm not in the witchcraft society, so I can't see what the things they do in the dark world, All I know, the way he has tormented my mother. I mean, he said so many things to her, that she would never enjoy her husband's money, that hair has to go in the palm of his hand before she ever gets anything, including benefits. And these are things we exchange when we're having, because we don't really talk. Is usually an argument. And also he said to us, you will never bury your husband. He said that to us, So he says a lot of things in our faces. And then when we go and have family meetings, so you see, this leads me to the next part about all these people that was mad with the traditions and me not following traditions. Do you know when my mom first passed and Uncle Inabu did his best of gathering people around? And I was talking to some of these people who were on the mat, who were sympathizing with us. And some of the things that would say, oh, anything they tell you to do it, okay? And I'm thinking, who is they? And what should I do it? Oh, no, you're too frisky. But how can you go into a grown woman and say, anything I tell you to do it? I'm not going to say yes. I'm not going to give you permission, to override me. I'm not going to give you permission to subdue me to whatever practices. I can't give you authority spiritually or physically. And then when I came on ground, I complained to them. I said, can you please stop telling me that whenever someone tells you to do something? So I said to one of my aunties, I said, okay, so where's your daughter? She's like, my daughter's at home. So what if a crazy man from the street go and tell her to do something? Should she do it? Because she said anyone. So they're coming to me, and some of the problems we're having, which is the reason I'm here, and the way Zo has impacted this whole burial. So, in Grangida, you have these little clans and stuff. So I don't want to generalize because not all of them think the same. But the key ones, the ones who are influential in these groups, these clans, they said to me, whatever someone did to you before your mom's burial, you should forget it and come together as one, which I agree. However, this circumstance is different because if I'm accusing someone of being instrumental in someone's passing, he is definitely not welcome into that house, into that home. He's not welcome. So they want to, oh, but we are your elders. This is what we're telling you to do. And I said, but where was tradition when my mom was reporting these things though to you? Do you know what they would say to her? Oh, ma, that your son, when he read, if he get it, he will bring it. My mom says, I'm telling you, my husband said it. He does have it. And sometimes Zoe used to say, oh my goodness, the properties you have, if only you knew. He used to taunt us often. So it's not things that we're just making up. So you have these traditions where they're going by the traditions, only when it suits Zoe, but not when it's fair across the board. You know? So it's not like I don't like traditions. I admire it. It has its place, but also common sense should prevail. If I'm saying to you, these I can tolerate and this I cannot tolerate at my mother's wake, do not tell me that we won't talk about the burial until I agree for Zoe to come in. Who is Zoe? This is not Zoe's mother's funeral. This is mine. I am grieving. So these are the things that
hold on, mommy, hold on 1 minute. Nelson, can you get James? We went above their maximum 10,000, 14,000 people following you. At a certain point, Facebook got to just get off. Nelson, guys, we'll continue on this interview. Nelson, can you? Is the producer there?
Yes, I'm here.
Nelson, can you reconnect? Those of you that are on YouTube, yes, indeed, we are still on YouTube. Are we still on Facebook?
We're now
just one.
We disconnected from Facebook, but we're on YouTube.
Yeah, we have to reconnect on Facebook, Nelson. Can we go back? Can you reconnect us?
Yeah, I'm trying to do that. Let me do that.
Are we on the radio, right?
Yeah, we're on radio.
Okay, so let's reconnect. Just 1 minute, Mami Do. Let me get the technician. We want to appreciate all of you. While we connect with, we have to reconnect on YouTube, on Facebook rather. We just went off. Do you want me to call James Nelson?
I'm trying to call him now. I'm calling him now.
Okay, we are on YouTube and we are on the radio. We'll keep talking. We have to reach the other part of this conversation. James.
The technicians at work.
All right, so Mami, let's talk. We're on YouTube. We're going to take a water break. We still get about 22 more minutes left with you. I want us to move forward with the conversation. We just got to reconnect on Facebook. You brought in the biggest crowd tonight, Mami. And then at certain point, StreamYard have to disconnect because of the 14,000 maximum on our strength.
Okay.
So you brought, yeah. So please be patient with us, and then we will reconnect. Those of you on YouTube, again, we will reconnect. We're trying to connect on Facebook as fast as we can. To all of our Facebook fans, I'm sorry that but talk to us. We'll continue with the show. They will join us where they can find us. James, we can't get out, right? You were just. Are we good?
Yes, with me on, I'm working on it.
Okay. So my thing is about the Zo Penu, right? I'm deeply concerned. Edwin Snow had promised you, right? Just to go back a little bit. Then Edwin Snow came back to you and said, talk to Zo. Promise your mom, not you, but your mom. And then came back and said, go talk to Zo Penu. Why everybody is Zo Penu telling everybody he's the man here? Why everybody's scared and they cannot do what they should do, but they asked to go talk to Zo Penu?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Do you recall before my mom's passing, we had said that we didn't want to be involved in my father's reburial. Well, maybe you can't remember, but that was because Zoe was on the committee and he completely sabotaged the whole thing. Completely sabotaged. So that's the reason we're writing them. We couldn't talk to anyone. We couldn't reach out to anyone. And I'm thinking, but this is something that you guys had, because my mom had been asking each administration for a burial for her husband. She's always asked it. You know, the only person who agreed at that time was President Taylor. He said, yeah, as soon as the right time, he would do that, you know. But of course, after him, it was like, well, he's not president, so we're not going to have it. So it's out of the question. So, so we had to wait again. And she wasn't fortunate to ever meet with, you know, with the former president in a good sitting that she was able to express herself.
2021. 2021, just to go back, I'm trying to be very light with the conversation because we went off on Facebook and we are reconnecting.
All I can say is go and
who told your mom? 2021, it was under President George Manneh. Who told your mom that we cannot renew your passport? Who stopped your mom from getting diplomatic passport 2021?
You will have to probably ask those people in the Foreign Office, because it was the Foreign Office. I really doubt probably President Weah was even aware. Like I said before, I think it's been a systematic approach against my mother. You understand? So it's something, you know how when you put your card in and then the bank says this card, there's a threshold or it's declined, you know, so there is something in the system. So that's why I don't think it was based on the presidents who was in charge. She had to have met with them and they would have personally intervened. Just like with my father case and Mrs. Talbot, he personally intervened because he was the link person. He intervened for everything with her. So this was the kind of representation that my mother needed. Because like I'm saying, Zoe is sabotaging everything. The ones we know, the ones we don't know. You know, we had some people in the courts, the clerks called us and said, I just want to let you know, Zoe is Zoe is here and he's trying to ascertain letter of administration for your estate. Now, of course, he can't get it because he's got all of our documents. But luckily, the judges, they denied his request. It wasn't even a thing because he was just inquiring, but they let us know. So, I mean, he has been sabotaging everything. Who knows what he said to President Weah? I am telling you. So I don't hold these people responsible. It's purely Zoe. He is a demon. And now he's trying to sabotage her burial, which is the reason why I'm here. Because how can people are saying, okay, talk after the burial. But there won't be a burial if the way he continues. And that's the reason I appreciate Ambassador Yambo, because he has been fighting. Zoe started rumors within the Tucson community. There's so many people who were banned from him from coming to us. There's so many, he's just doing too much and it's not right. And he's boastful. Unless she begs me, I'm going to make sure that no one in the government does anything, or no one goes, or no one does. He is not God Almighty.
Mommy, we have to take a technical break. Okay. And I'll meet you on the other side. We are switching link because this link have, with the StreamYard, we went above and beyond. For us to come to the second part of the show, folks, those of you that joining us on YouTube, on Instagram, on Fabric, on Super, I want you to switch over to our new link. We're going to take a 3 minutes break, just 3 minutes. We will get off right now. We will end this session, and then we'll come back with the next session. On the next session, we'll stay about 30 minutes with Mami Veronica Doe, or Veronica Mami Doe. Thank you very much. We're going to switch over right now.